It's
Month.
ready. We love it. So, yes, all things Hilton Head. That's our story today. So, we are so happy you joined us. It is the first Marketing Monday of February 2024. Today, we have a special edition all about what you see behind Helen Wells, which is Hilton Head Island. So, we're going to kick you into an actual formula today. It's a formula for success on how do we earn Hilton Head. And if you're watching today and you're like, not interested, that's okay. Slice and dice the recipe in the way that you most want to work. How many hours are you willing to work? How much income do you want to create out of your own business for your own time value? And what are your real goals? That's what the purpose of Marketing Monday is. We take a look at each week, we take a look at each month. So we're going to dive you over to first the trip 2024. So we want to welcome you. It's Jackie G, Jackie P. We're sitting here all ready for you to kick off a very, very big month. As you know, last week, in case you're behind, in case you have questions, we're going to be focusing on this for the next, what do we have, about 15 weeks left now. So one's gone, so you got 15 weeks to go. So it's going to take planning, structure, and system, to make this trip happen. I'm going to go backwards. Forgive me. My click went cray cray. So you're qualifying Feb 1st all the way to May 31st. Okay. You can look at the dates when the trip is so you can start to plan and block that. Then what do we have is something Pat was just talking about in our 5 minutes to fame before we recorded. And that is this. You heard a big announcement. Yes, this came out Friday afternoon, or maybe Wednesday. Sorry, I don't even know what day it is, but we launched it very quickly for you. Sorry, Thursday was the first, Friday was the second, and we launched it after we had all things out to you to say, guess what? We've got double QNCs. So this is big for all of you all who earned Hawaii last year. You know what we saw you do? You took advantage of double dip for the trip. That is this month. Everything you do in the next 3 weeks matters most, with the priority on sponsoring for you and your team. So that's right. If you sponsor 4 QNCs this month, it counts as 8, which is what you need for the manager title. Okay. So this is really, 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 really key. And trust me, the sales, right, are only of 4 people. So if you have a gap in sales, the key is don't just do 4, do 8. So account says 16, but you need more people. People build productivity. And so it's not just about minimums, it's about what do I really need to work the sales volume. So we're just going to take a quick look at this, okay? So to keep it very simple, this is you must be a manager title by the end of this trip. If for all the sales that are happening, let's say I'm a consultant right now, all the sales that are happening in February, I don't have a what we call central branch. Okay. So I know that this is again some of the growth volume that I'm going to need for my team, but I'm not a manager, Jackie. That's okay. The sales along the way will count for your central branch sales. Okay. So for all of you that are promoting a manager during the trip, those sales will count for you during the entire trip. Okay. You start at this title. So even if you go up, so you're a manager today, you promote a manager, you move to DM1 during the trip. It doesn't matter. Your qualifiers are going to be at the level you are February 1st. Okay. So let me just get clear on this. First, you need to have sponsors, right? So here's what you need. If you are a consultant going to be a manager, you are a manager, you need to have 10 team qualified new consultants for land and air, 12. 4 of those must be by you. We call that direct sponsors. If they're not by you, they're indirect. Okay. Next, what do we need? We also need to have sales volume of yourself and your team. So that's called central branch. We just call it central district retail sales. That's you and all of your consultants. And if you're titled, with 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 10, 15 groups, then that's going to be you plus those leaders and any new promotions. Your sales are this. If you look back, you're a manager today, and you look in your reports of your central branch last year, 2023, pull up February, March, April, and May, and that will tell you how much sales did your team do last year. Add up your central branch sales or district based on your title. Add that up, January or February, March, April, and May. And then you got to grow over that. Okay. So let's say I did 5,000 a month, 5 times 4 on average would be 20,000 total. So I have to have at least 16,000. I did 20. So for me last year, for me to get level 1, I have to do 20,000 plus 6,000, which is 26,000 in my team sales. Now I'm going to give you scenario number 2. Let's say my team last year, February, March, April, May, did 3,000 on average a month. So our total during those 4 months was 12,000. Well, I have to use the base of 16,000, not my 12, and I need to grow 6,000 over that. So I need to do a minimum of 22,000 if my team was not above that 4,000 on average last year. Okay. So that's level 1. You add 14,000 to it, plus the 16 would be 30,000. So pick your, find your title. Then you will find the number of central branch QNCs. And then this is your central district sales. Okay. In case you move up, or again, you start at a DM or higher. So that being said, you get $800 to use towards your airfare. Okay. If you're driving, we give you $260. Okay. For your gas and travel. Oops, sorry, forgive me. Let me take us back here. First and foremost, again, if you have a consultant who achieves manager during the trip, for all you leaders out there, their sales, once they qualify, let's say they qualify in February, the team sales and sponsoring counts for that new manager, right? The sales and sponsoring counts for your central district as well. But now March 1st, they are a manager. The sales and sponsoring of their team count for them. And the sales only now of that new group count for you, not the sponsoring going forward. Okay. So again, this is a big month for everybody to sponsor, 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 because that gives you, I would get all sponsoring done, all, okay? Because then you have, let's go back again. I mean, if I'm a district manager level 3, right? And I need 14 or 16. If I have that, I have 14 new consultants to earn Jumpstart February, March, April, and May. Okay. So, and again, you could do 7 and they count as 2, smart to do, but more people produce more results. So I would still, I love double, you know I do, but that's a safety net. I would still add that number of people to my group because that produces the sales that you need. Okay. Jackie and I are going to come back. We're going to answer some questions. So Jack, let's take the first scenario. And the first scenario is, okay, I sponsored people because we gave you the bonus of January. If you had any QNCs in January or anyone who sponsored in January who then qualified this month, tell me, how does that portray into the double dip?
So anyone that you sponsored in January and QNCs in February will count for 1 QNC in the incentive.
Got it. Beautiful. Now, and I don't know if we have the answer yet, but
we do.
If I sponsor in February, but she doesn't qualify, which is counting for the trip, she doesn't qualify until till March, does she count for doubles?
So if they're sponsored in February and they QNC in March, they do count for the trip and they count for 2.
Beautiful. Okay. And remember, during the month of May, the last month you're earning the trip, they have to qualify that month. Yeah. Qualification is 400 retail, which could be a pack, their order, whatever that be. Okay. So let's pause. do we have any questions on the trip?
Yes. How does a new manager who did not promote until May calculate her growth?
Okay, so same thing. That means you and your team sales, direct, indirect, and your sales to get to that 22,000 are February, March, April. And you then qualify, right? May 1st, let's say. Okay. And then you qualified either May 1st, June 1st, whatever that is. So that key is all the sales count and your team sponsoring count. But the sooner you sponsor, this is made to sponsor early to build your volume. Does that make sense? You have to, let's say I even just qualified to manager, you have to maintain your title at the end of the trip, which is June 1st, right? So that title has to still be there as well, okay, of manager. So does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, other questions?
There are none other in the chat that I can see. Oh, she said she was asking about a consultant who did not promote to manager till last year. I don't understand
it doesn't matter. Her title is February 1st. If she was a manager last year and she's a consultant today, she has to requalify. She's a manager today, she's earning it already as a manager. It all began February 1st.
So also, guys, this is important to know. Your own personal numbers as leaders will be emailed to you by late this week. And you will also have a tracker in Jafra Biz that will show you all the live updates of your progress. So if somebody has a question on the semantics of 1,000 here or there based on your growth, all of that will be updated in your Jafra Biz soon. So just get to sponsoring and selling so that you have something in your tracker to show you.
Yes. And if you have, I'll give you one scenario, and this will probably make more sense to someone in a scenario. So if I was a DM1 last year and I'm a manager right now during the trip, during February, March, April, May, if I go into my reports right now, I can't see central district numbers of last year. So what you would have to do is take your central branch numbers of last year and take the manager. Does that make sense? Take the manager who was a manager last year and have her go look at her central branch sales during that time. You can manually add it up. If you don't want to wait until the 8th leaders where your numbers will come out, again, that's one way to do it. And you can do it. It's all in there. Okay. If you need help, go ahead, get a hold of your BDC. Okay. So any other questions we have, you can open mic, you can type in the chat.
Deb says, what was that 16,000 for manager? And I said, that is the overall central branch volume needed over the course of the earning period to earn the trip as a manager. And then Maxine says, what happens if I qualify in February? How much do I have to sell? The chart is the chart is the chart. So you have that minimum 16,000 base for the entire trip. And then you have to grow over that by 6.
Yep. So
22.
22,000, 22,000, 22,000. That's you and your team volume. If your team or you weren't a manager last year, if your team did less than 4,000 a month last year, period. It's 22,000. I don't care if the sales come from you, 22 new people. It doesn't matter. It's 22,000 team volume. Okay. I'm just going to keep it super simple. Okay. Here's that ticket. Sponsor. If you don't get off to the biggest sponsoring start right now, it will be harder than you think. How many of you can say amen to that about a trip?
Amen.
Amen to that. So this is not, oh, let me get around to it. Let me give it a Girl Scout try. Let me see what I can do. Do or don't do. Point made. Okay. So, all right.
And
we love you anyway, right? So go ahead.
Just one more thing. I just put it in the chat in case anyone's thinking about it. You're, as the leader, current leader, or even sponsoring, all 12, that's like it might need 12, they could come from anyone, and you're not limited as a leader just to the 4, because it says that, we have to sponsor 4, personal sponsor. So even if you sponsored, like if you sponsored 4 right now this month, you'll have 8 already in your central branch. And I thought that might be a little
For sure. For sure.
Or
Thank
help.
you.
Yeah.
For
You're welcome.
sure. Okay, go ahead, Carol.
I don't think I made my question clear. How does someone that wasn't a manager last year and didn't promote till May of 2023, she doesn't have a central branch volume to grow, so she has to do 22,000, whether, you know.
22,000, same
Okay,
answer.
okay, so it's not growth over, because she doesn't have growth over anything from February through May. So it's 22,000 minimum.
Yep, so it's 22,000 if you weren't a manager. It's 22,000 if you were, and your central branch did less than $4,000 on average a month. 22,000. Okay. The only one who has a higher number is those of you whose central branch last year or district, based on what your title is, was higher than what your minimum is. You take your real numbers and add the growth to it. Okay, go ahead, Helen.
Yes, so I believe it was May last year, we had, our sales were like 1.5 times or whatever. So are they counting the 1 time or the 1.5 time? But
We're not doubling sales, it's only sponsoring.
no,
What does that mean?
last year, our base, okay?
Oh, your report will show you what you were paid commission on. It's not, we didn't put numbers into that the numbers are, sorry, I know exactly what you're saying. The numbers, to my knowledge, and we'll double check, are real data numbers.
Good, thank you.
We don't have the additional in there in your report, but I'll double check. It's a really good question. I'll double check, but I don't think so.
Okay.
So I think we had to go back, and that was in our trip tracker.
Right.
And your trip tracker that will be in Jafra Biz, by the way, will launch this week. Okay, so you will see that. You will see the number come to all the managers and above in their email. If you're not a manager, it's 22,000. What's the number?
22.
Very
22.
good, very good. So we're going to keep it just that simple. Okay, any other questions? This is important. We want to give you this. We'll keep doing it because all of a sudden when the student appears, you know, the teacher appears when the student's ready, we'll keep doing this every week because there is 15 short weeks left to go. Okay, anything else? Now, how many of you feel you'd like a recipe on how the heck do I do it? Anybody feel overwhelmed, lost? I don't know how to even breathe and get my foot started. Okay. Jackie and I made you a formula. And it's kind of like that Betty Crocker cake mix, right, Jack?
Oh, cake.
Yeah, we like cake in the morning. So you always have to add a little bit of oil and an egg, right? Maybe some water. So there are a few things you can't not do. But there are ways you can add some nuts or some cherry pie filling or anything, chocolate chips, anything you want to add to it, okay? But we wanted to give you a core foundation. And I'm going to ask you all, how many of you have earned a trip before? Okay. What were some of the best practices you put into play to earn a trip? What helped you earn a trip? And just shout them quickly. What were things you did that helped you earn a trip?
Telling people what I was doing.
Told people I was earning a trip. Love that. They got behind you. People like to help people they know, like, and trust, and be proud out loud that you have a YAB, your own business, that is going to treat you to a resort getaway, which is people's #1 passion again, is traveling. So you might sponsor from it. So I like it. Thank you. What else? What are our other best practices?
Track your
Believe I can
daily,
do.
Let me go to Pat, and then I'll go to Sarah. Go, Pat.
track daily, morning
Plan.
and night,
Yes.
what you need daily,
Set
and
daily
share your
goals.
goal with your team.
You got it. Track it daily, celebrate daily, and take action daily. Absolutely. And you better track it from the time you wake up to the time you close. 4 months, 15 short weeks of doing more than you've done will change your year. Don't stop, and don't just do it for a trip. It's called creating new habits and systems and focuses that will earn you more than you even think of. Love it. Sarah Hipple.
Believe I can do it and avoid self-doubt and just keep moving forward every day.
Excellent. Excellent. Put up signs around your house, okay? Hang your swimsuit. Get visuals, get mindset. Take 10 minutes in the morning and just get in a belief mindset. Mindset is 80% of it. Self-talk is so critical. So get visuals, get a team behind you to say, hold me accountable. Make somebody at home before you sit down and have dinner say, did you hit your goal today? I like daily goals with power hour plans. I do not like weekly or monthly garbage. Life is too fast. So every day is a new start and a quick start to a goal. So I love that. Thank you. What else? Mona, how about you? What you got?
One party a week. That's it. And you can do it. Two is great, but one for sure. Minimal.
Parties is always the answer. I don't care if we are in 1960, 70, 1980, 1990, 2024. The fastest way to anything is to find people who bring you more people. You just heard in the beginning, we did a 5 minutes to fame before we recorded, and Cheryl Sykes reported that one of her consultants did a sort of informal impromptu facial this weekend with 2 guests and sold $430. Pat had a gathering with her team this weekend and had 2 QNCs. It's when you're in front of people experiencing beauty, experiencing the opportunity. So they buy, book, or begin. They get a choice because they fell in love with you and the products. You're going to get a much faster result. You want to go slow and just go out and prospect? Have fun, but it's going to be a little harder. So you got to look at your calendar and go green. So what are your big rocks? The green is the money-making income opportunities. You got to block those and fill it in with hostesses, fill it in with your own. There's Mona with her green. So we love color coding. So if you look at her calendar, it's always like that. It's so cool. So again, love that. All right. Anybody else? One last tip. How else have you earned a trip?
I work.
I love it. How many of you would be willing to work 15 hours a week to earn a trip? And you might look at our formula and say, oh my God, I've never even done that in a month. We don't care. Trips don't come because you did a little bit more. Right, Helen?
That's right.
But what it leaves you in the end is a lifetime of friendships and memories. Some of you were in Hawaii. I wasn't, and I was so FOMO, I can't even handle it. So it is all about it. Go ahead, Vicki. Our ambassador, Queen Bee, take it away. You're muted, honey.
I just want to say that fill your office all over, put your affirmations. I think Pat Clover said she writes with lipstick on her mirror in her bathroom. But whatever you have to do, just put it everywhere that you're going. And like I say, I love Helen that she put that on. I'll try to do that tonight too, Helen, for the Hive. But we're going to give you some more secrets about earning the trip tonight. Some of the things that I think, especially if you're a leader, tune in tonight. You're going to want to hear what we're talking about. So anyways, I just want to say, I can't wait to see all of you there. I'm so excited that they're making it so attainable. So let's go for it.
Love it. Thank you. Go ahead, Betty.
Just one last thing. I sponsored early when I earned it. Yeah, that really did make a difference. So yeah.
It does. It does. So make sure you put together a team. You can call them whatever you want. It could be the headset team, right? It could be whatever you want to call it, but put together your mastermind team. Consultants, leaders, come together. You don't have to always be in the same district, but I recommend meeting a couple of days a week. What are we doing for the next 2 to 3 days? The next 2 to 3 days. Believe it or not, a week is hard. A week is it's 7 days is now like a month. That's how our time of life has changed. So make sure you're meeting every couple of days with a group of people. Set it up yourself. Jackie and I are here kicking it off. So I have a feeling there's a change to our QNC answer.
Yes. So I just got in real time an update from Natalie, and she says she's super sorry. She didn't know she misspoke. So I'm going to fix the, for the record. Okay.
Yeah.
She says, here's where I mixed up. I'm sorry. If they sponsor in February and QNC in March, they QNC outside of the double month, so they don't count as double, but they do count for trip quals. So the idea to double is to QNC the month they were sponsored.
Yes,
She's
that
super
makes
sorry,
sense.
guys.
Nope, that makes sense. I questioned it when I heard it, and then we made her think again. Hey, she's just getting up with a cup of coffee out in California. So we appreciate that. So thank you, and keep those questions coming. So the name of the game is sponsor and qualify in Feb. So we're going to take you to a recipe. Okay, here we go. So our first half is getting ready, and now we're going to get you ready. So let's take this to just a couple of, again, I already did that slide, forgive me. Let's get to the recipe. All right. So the magic ticket, all right, to see the starfish is going to be key steps. We're going to start at the top of the starfish. You can change these recipes any way you want, but Jackie and I really said, what would we do if we were a consultant today or a leader impacting a consultant? Because everything's better on the beach with your friends. So it starts at step 1, 2 events a week. And we're going to help you decide what is an event. Call them parties, call them what you want, but you can create an event. An event is where people gather together with you to shop, to look at, do they want to buy, do they want to bundle, do they want to book, do they want to begin, or do they want to build a business? Okay, so it's the B's. Number 2 is to also know that at every event you have, if you're doing a tabletop, a pop-up, you want to know what success is to me? I booked 2 more events, 2 parties from that. If your calendar isn't full, you're always back at the drawing board, swimming out in that ocean in circles. Okay. So book 2 events at each event. Then as you do that at the events, what's going to happen? I promise you, 1 and 2 hostesses sponsor. And that's if you are not even good at it. It's natural. They're like, my friends really like this. What do you mean you just made $250? Oh my gosh, 2 people are interested. Oh my gosh, my friends booked parties. So 2 QNCs by you. And when they join with a friend, Doublemint twins, you got 4. And I don't mean double points, right? Or double QNCs. I mean, if everybody joins with a friend, their number one thing is, oh my gosh, while we wait for your kid, who's your first bestie you're going to do this with? Because like Weight Watchers, you're 50% more successful. So who's your bestie? Great. Then 2 + 2 + 2. What is 2 + 2 + 2? It is literally a recipe of good customer service. As Helen says, that's working. Following up 2 days after their products are delivered or after you meet them, checking in 2 weeks later, and never again quitting and checking in at least every 2 months or as they wish. So we even map this out. But Jackie, I don't have time. It's not a 40-hour-a-week business. It's 15 hours a week. You're paid like full time, but we did this. If you put 15 hours in, how would we do our time? Well, 2 events is going to take probably 6 hours. Okay. Biggest, most important green in your calendar is finding places to do those events. Then again, booking. If you didn't book at that event, you got to be doing booking calls and put in a couple hours a week. That encompasses booking, hostess coaching, after the party, all those things. So you're working on getting more bookings. Then working on recruiting and helping your new consultants join with a recruit, okay? Or any of your consultants in your team sponsoring. So again, we even said 6 hours of sponsoring, 6 hours of your party, and doing follow-up is here to get more bookings, to get more customers who buy, bundle, book, begin, or build. So you got to plan your time. If you had a job and they were going to give you a trip in your first 4 months, they would tell you what had to be done and they would have you work a time clock. This is your boss time clock. So this might look messy, okay? Bear with me. We did it so literal. If you printed it and highlighted it, it would work. So again, a consultant, you're going to need 22,000 team sales. Managers with less than 4,000, 22,000. We're just using that. If you're above that in title, do your base. So what must you have? Okay. You need 8 total QNCs, right? And 4 have to be by you. Okay. Simple. Then what else do you have to have? Okay. So we're going to go to, bear with me. What's your strategy? I would instantly recommend qualifying to manager. Use the double QNCs like Pat said and Betty said. Get early bird right now. How do I have 2 every single week? Right now. And what if they joined with a friend? Okay. Focus again on every direct joining with a friend. Next, I'm going to have 2 indirects and 2 directs. I am going to focus on them earning Jumpstart. Jumpstart is magically delicious because it takes them to $400 every month, right? So watch this. If I added those consultants, 2 direct and 2 indirect in February, okay, and through every single month, I can add this up, okay? The total sales, believe it or not, is literally $22,000. If I have 4, 2 plus 2 in February, I qualify to manager, whatever, okay? 2 plus 2 again on my team in March, plus, so I'd have 4 in March, plus those from February are in month 2 of Jumpstart. Boom. Then in the month of April, I have 4 new. I have my February consultants in month 3 for Jumpstart, my March consultants in month 2. We just started to total it, and it does. It totals in just 3 months, this retail plus your February. Here's that key. To make up the difference, it's literally adding 2 events in, okay? So we even gave you a cushion if you want to move to the 30. But if you did 2 events a week, an average event in Jafra is 400 retail, okay? Mastering hostess coaching, outside orders, getting bookings at bookings, having her invite people to sponsor. If you did 2 events a week and that was your number 1 priority, you would have $9,600 in personal retail. Okay. You would have your team sales right here, and it all works out. Okay. So we mapped it out. Not going to get too kinky on it, but what we want to do is show you what's in it for you. There are 2 ways to payday: when you sell and when you sponsor. If you did that retail we just talked about, if you're behind from last week, okay, you can make it up in any other way, shape, or form. Maybe do 2 days of 2 events in a day this week and get caught up, or next week. But this would be your retail, and that commission would be $1,600 if you did 2 $400 events a week. If you then have 22,000 in team volume at 11%, this is your total potential income. You add that together, and again, this is the potential income a month, $1,900. How will you spend your paydays? So we just mapped out, what does this recipe give me? So I'm going to just take it here very quickly. Remember, you're earning 2 ways to your payday. How do you get to manager? Talk to your manager. She's going to help you create that plan to qualify in February. I wouldn't go any later than March, but I'd go February for sure. So we're going to pause a quick minute because we're going to come back to how. But what's the name of the game? What's the recipe? Step 1 is what?
Sponsor.
Step 1 is how many events a week?
2.
2. What's step 2?
Book.
Book 2 from every event. Excellent. What's step 3? And no order, so don't worry. 2 QNCs. You got it. 2 directs yourself, and then invite them to each join with a friend. And then what do you have? 2 indirects. And the ending is good follow-up. Good customer care can lead you to more referrals, which is the 2 plus 2 plus 2, right? 2 days after delivery, 2 weeks later, and every 2 months check in. You can do more during the trip, but this is actually, how many of you were raised by Jan and Frank Day Days? Is this recipe any different than theirs? No, they just said 5 sponsors a month instead of 4, truth be told. But it was always one thing I heard from Jan and Frank. If you just hold 2 parties a week, you'll earn everything in Jafra. And I can promise you, we'd love to see that model brought back. It's not changed. It just takes a lot less time, and you don't always have to use gas to get to a party. Right? So, all right. We want to take a quick pause, and we're going to help you take a look at February with a couple of spotlights, okay? And then we're going to go back to a couple of how-to notes. Okay. Are we ready, Jack?
I'm ready.
Okay, you launched something super fun. Let's talk, let's talk about what we launched last month. Let's go back. And we love this. Let's talk about what this is, Jack.
All right, so social media is our best friend and our worst enemy, right? So sometimes we need a little direction on what to do on social. So we launched a couple of hashtags for you guys to try and see how it's okay. So we launched a couple hashtags to see what you guys could do with them, and you guys took them and you ran with them. So we have some winners from our different hashtags from this past week. First of all, big shout out to Mona Anderson. Is she on this call? I think she is.
She's here.
Big shout out to Mona because the hashtags were used not only appropriately and well, but often. So like, yay. Thank you so much. I loved seeing all of the things that y'all shared. It was real cool. The Jafra Skin winner was definitely Shafika. She shared a video with a male client who like just sang the praises of the product after his own one-on-one, which was awesome. Tucky had a great video sharing Jafra Spa that I loved. Joanne Sprouse like killed the game by twisting it and sharing Jafra Color as the hair products, the color care hair products, which I loved. And Brenda Bordeaux hit it out of the park with a Jafra fragrance post that I just loved. I thought it was great use of hashtag. And of course, Freedom Friday, Carol Boyer's here too, sharing the opportunity on Freedom Friday. Chef's kiss. I like can't even say anything else about it. It was great. You guys did great. Keep using them. They are powerful tools. Okay. Yes.
Yes. And here's our Mona.
It's Mona. It was so good. I was so proud. I like can't even say much more about it. Like using personal photos, using really beautiful photos, sharing her personal testimony. Like get out. It's so good.
We loved it. So we're going to challenge you all. And if you're here and you've got a team working on the trip or just working on their own business goals, we even gave you an example. So the brochure comes out. What are your favorites? Are you creating bundles? And do you have a plan of how many you're going to sell? Do you have a plan of all the ways and places you're going to go in Whoville to go out and share the bundles with? So we just kind of gave you I call it my thought board. Okay. So I took the book as if I was in your shoes, and Jackie and I just kind of went through and said, hey, what if? So we bundled together all of our skincare to get a full regimen. That was really kind of the hot deals of the month. And so we bundled that to the Love You bundle. $266 love value or love deal. And this is again, $422 value, 63% off. We set our own goal. We're going to sell 3 a week. Look at that. That nets you $3,192 retail. This is where you don't just look at the brochures and the deals. You got to create your fun, right? And then you got to set those goals and you got to track yourself like Pat said. So again, I would have the number 3 in my hashtag Jafra Skin. Then we go to the spa products. We made this one called Love Your Body Bundle. We married the almond because we know you love doing almond hand treatments alongside the facials. And look at this one. Oh my gosh, you bundle this together. It is 55% off. If you sold 8, that's 2 a week. You got $700 more. And then we even made strategies. I'm going to do Skin News Tuesday. I'm going to go live. I'm going to do free Friday sample giveaways, 10 consults, virtual skin consults. I'm going to host Love the Skin You Are In Facial Fridays. Maybe for 3 hours, I can get 6 facials in and they bring a friend, they get a gift. Then up here on Thirsty Thursday on my social media, I'm going to do some pop-up hand treatments at coffee shops. I'm going to do some live almond stories. I'm going to twist that up in my hashtag Jafra Spa. Maybe it's the 4 steps to love: lather, exfoliate, oil, and lotion, our vitamin E. So all those letters, you can mix them up, but they all spell love, because I'm nuts about loving the birthday skin I'm in. Next, you can go to the lip bundle. This is the Lip Love bundle. It's got matte lipstick, regular royal lipstick, and 2 oils. $85 value, 65% off. My goal is to upsell with every order 10 of these. Look at that. That's $5.50 retail. How am I going to do it? I'm going to do Makeup Monday. I'm going to do lipstick personality test. I'm going to do lip love therapy on my Makeup Monday. I'm going to do Kiss Me with Love. I'm going to do live. I'm going to do a reel. I'm getting real from upselling to where I'm going to be, to Jackie's point, hashtag Jafra Color. So every Monday is makeup. Every Tuesday is skin news. Every Thursday is Thirsty Thursday Spa. But wait, I've got more. Now I can do my fragrance. I picked these 2. I think it's a beautiful love story. It's a sensational love story. I bundle them together. Again, it's $68 savings, 40% off. It's His and Hers Love Affair. My goal is to sell 4 this week because I got to get these Valentine's gifts out, man. So I got to do this fast today and tomorrow. And again, that's $400. There's one of my $400 events. Now I'm going to go to Freedom Friday. Thank you, Mona. Bravo. We get to celebrate you in Minnesota tonight. What am I going to do every hashtag Freedom Friday? You know what? I'm going to use these pictures out of the brochure. I love them. I'm going to do 2 tabletops where I have the pack and the kit on display. I'm going to do all product demo from those, and they can get the buy price, the bundle price, the book price, or but wait, the begin price. I'm going to tell my story on one of my Fridays. I'm going to hang flyers around town. I'm actually going to even boost to love yourself into a business. And I'm going to have testimonies of new consultants. So you got to have a game plan. Okay. So if you have it, this is what we want you to start bringing to the first Marketing Monday of the month. And again, what are your live events on social media, Instagram? Where are you? Eventbrite, your Zoom room. So I want to be online and in person. So I'm going to take a pause, breathing break. I'm going to go back to Jack for just a couple of fun social spotlights.
So I live for the social calendar, as you know, and there's not a ton on the docket this week, but I think that is really smart to front load for Valentine's Day. So if you're feeling giving, if you're feeling like a giving heart is your thing you're going to celebrate for Valentine's Day on Friday the 9th, it's Giving Hearts Day. So I would do a fundraiser this week and donate on Friday to a cause of my choice, whether that be a heart association fundraiser or something that you can do for your community. Just share your giving heart for Friday. I love that. I would also definitely highlight fragrance this week, even if you don't sell a ton. Do I have time to tell a 2-second story? I think I do. So I'm not a fragrance person, but I ordered a box of samplers, a fragrance sampler that I've been like dying over, okay, from another company. And they sent me like 4, you can't even see. They sent me like 4 little cute fragrances, and I've been trying them and whatever and matching them up to my Jafra fragrances so that I can see like what I like and what's out there in the world and I can share with other people. Do a highlight of fragrance because people buy fragrance for Valentine's Day. Boys buy it for girls, boys buy it for boys, boys buy it for everyone, you know. Their moms, everybody can benefit from a fragrance for Valentine's Day. So I would share that. And I would set up bunches and bunches of Galentine's Day parties because the girls are for the girls and everybody wants to celebrate their love of their friends the next week. So that's my social calendar advice for the coming
We
week.
love it. We love it. Okay. We're keeping your stimulating thoughts going, and then we're going to show you just a little deck we're going to end with. We're never going to get through all of it, but we want to show you a deck you can take for training. We'll do more of this at the leader meeting tomorrow, and of course, next Tuesday on our regional celebration and marketing Monday. Here's what we've got for you all. This is awesome. So when this offer came out, it was like, oh my gosh, you're kidding me. The Be Mine pack, 5 for $129. Leaders, this is for all your consultants. For those of you sponsoring or have a team that you're growing, this is a big deal to do lots of calls. I think Cheryl was saying she does project broadcasts. She's got text messages, email messages, phone trees going on. Get communicating. This is a big deal. 5 for $129. You've got to be kidding. That includes the original Royal Jelly decanter, and they pick 4 other favorites. OMG. This drops the price so low. So you want to take this and say, oh my gosh, how many can I sell and what ways and places will I sell this? And that can be 2 events just this week. You could have, you know, a client reorder event and maybe do a shopping show event this week and just get it done. If you don't have a hostess booked or you're not doing something, set these products up at a tabletop at a Starbucks, go into a college campus. This is huge at $129 retail. Just think if you sold, about 6 of those, you would hit again alone 800 retail right there. So again, who's the product lovers who love any of these products and the choices? Where can you do parties or pop-ups that you can host quickly this week? Again, just going live, like Jackie said, selling Valentine's. $129 for a Valentine's gift is normal. And it could be a couple's love. There's men's fragrance, women's fragrance. It could be a beautiful bundle. Can you go live? Can you go posting? So again, what can you do now? We made you graphics this morning. They're already in Facebook. They're already in WhatsApp if you're a leader. That again, there's even more. Look what Jafra has for you. If you're going to have your order, if you bump it to $450 this week, if you're doing your own order, you get a free gift. If you go to $500, you get a big bonus gift. If you go to $500 and you're a VIP, up to $153 in gifts. So this is a week everybody earns all their gifts early, and we have the rest of the month. So this can be a big push week. Don't forget, here it is. Look at the client price, under $13 for 5 items. Client price is under $26, consultant price under $13. And be sure to be posting this because they can ask how to join. Don't forget, this month, what do you have? Consultants for you. You've got these great offers to add to that cart for more gifts and deeper discounts. $5 each here, $10.50 each here. Okay. We even made this for you again. If you just want to boost or post something about joining options, here's a quick way for a quick start to get them into the business this week. We made another post like this already in Facebook and in WhatsApp. If you want to just say this week only, join and get 80% off plus your 50% off that. So again, it's really saving huge. So one other tool you have to really grow is today's the last day to get registered for Los Angeles. Yes, you can register late, but we need to have enough seats and treats. So you know what it's like as hosting meetings. If you don't have RSVPs, you can get there and be out of things. We don't have enough chairs. We run out of coffee. We don't want that. Please, if you're in California area and you're coming, register tonight by midnight. Tomorrow will be for Charlotte. Next Monday will be for the Charlotte event. So we're super excited to be in person with all of you. So we just want to pause as we get close to the ending because we know our power hour is up. We know it's a special edition of Trip 2024, but you have to block time. We talked about 15 hours. We talked about follow-up. So remember, as you can maybe find, whether you're doing 15 minutes here or there, or you can just take one dedicated hour. It's always easier taking allotted amounts of time and just going. But breaking it up, whether you want to do one of these 5 days a week and you take an hour for booking, an hour for sponsoring, an hour for customer care, an hour for hostess coach, however you want to break it up. These are all the people that we put into our power hour segments or power hours literal. Depends how many are on your list. You might need more than an hour, but it's blocking time to work with people to book with, your leads, your team, your customer care, and your hostess coaching. Your contact list is the key. If you don't have a list every day, just like Pat said, track results, but plan your day. It begins with who is getting my Jafra solutions today. Keep your Jafra 100 list in front of you. We love having little symbols. Again, those who are offering beauty to, the opportunity to, and to be a hostess, the dollars, the hearts, and the beauty smiles. So however you have fun, keep it going. To review your hostess, why do people book? You will see what's really critical is people book to save money right now. People book to have some love, fun with their galentines. I agree with Jackie. Keep it all about sharing the love, seeing your friends who you love, getting together and loving products at the best discounts and getting free. So talking about what they get free, talking about never taking an order for Revitalize, because look at this, it's 66% off for our hostesses. 27 bucks, you'll never see that price for a client, right? Then you've got level 2, showing them, helping them with that wish list on all their favorites. So think of all the clients who buy these products or who are looking for these product solutions and invite them to book, not buy. Because again, tell them your goals, like Betty said, sharing her goals and sponsoring, but also saying, you know, there's more in it for you. Help me win, I help you win the best deals and free. Look at Defy. You have Defy clients. These are our top selling products at $20 each. Are you kidding? That's incredible. So you won't find these prices any lower in a bundle or in the monthly sales brochure. And remember, we have 2 new gifts this month. So these are all hostess offers, all of them. If you piece them all together, you could add the 2 new ones this month if you want, but your host bundles, I remember people always saying, oh, I wish we had a hostess set. You do. Bundle them together, add the additional ones this month, and our hostesses on average save 66%. As a client, you can't get a better price than a hostess price. You can't. Unless you're a consultant where it gets lower, you can't get it. So that is why people book. So again, what Jackie and I love about this is when you use your hostess program and you really market the deals, you get more. This is the additional profit you make on every single sales level. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. So with that extra profit you have, you can give additional incentives when they have 10 in attendance, when they have an extra booking, when they have outside orders, when they give referrals for recruiting. It doesn't have to cost you out of your pocket. Jafra's paying you to mail flyers and brochures if you want. Do the little scent samplers like Jackie talked about. Use your profits by using your hostess program and wish list. So again, we say to you all, there's so many opportunities for your consultants to grow their orders higher this month with free gifts and achieved promotions. So many reasons for people to join and so many reasons to book. So as we show you this, we created this, and this is where Jackie and I will post this as a party deck, okay? Because it's not easy to get through this much training in a power hour today. We went through the book, and these are some of the words for the party themes, okay? Next week, we'll circle back to a little bit about this again, but we wanted to build you a party deck. So this gives you all of the party topics. Leaders will be here tomorrow to train on this so that you can bring it to your teams. But we gave you themes. We even gave you a new checklist so that every week you're picking your 2 types. What are $400 events? We won't read this today. We're going to just make it into a PDF. But these are all the different ways that you can do events. I'm going to have Jack spotlight just one. Jack, will you share the scroll and shop party?
Yeah, so okay, a shop and scroll party is actually really in right now, and it's built off of an Adobe Express page where you can gear it toward however you want to sell. So if it's, oh God, sorry, if it's a group of folks who are really interested in skincare, You put skincare right up top and you have some buttons that lead them straight to shopping on your website. You share through Facebook Messenger or text, and you have personal conversations with each person that your host connects you with. So you can close them. It's like a party full of personals. But yeah, you can customize it however you want. If you put skincare on top and then go through spa and color and fragrance, you could also make a scroll and shop and put the opportunity at the top and be like, hey, if you're looking for a side hustle, here it is. And share the kits first. You can do it as a hostess booking tool and put those hostess specials at the top of the scroll and shop. So at the end of the day, everybody is being offered what they need from you in a really personalized way. And you follow it up with personal conversation via text or Facebook Messenger. And those parties are putting out, I asked a girlfriend of mine what hers look like. And she was telling me that those parties are putting up $400 and $500 with very minimal effort. So I have some training on that we can share later, but that is something super awesome that you can do, super easy. And it's a nice way to make personal relationships with party guests.
Love that. And look at, here it is. You know, in the old days, this is all I can remember. It was like, oh, 2 personals count for a party. Jan Day always had us do 100 parties a year because she knew that was the recipe for success. And so we just heard Cheryl, her consultant, who did that impromptu 2 people at a party. It's like 2 personals. And look what happened. She had over $400. So you just have to pick it. But here's the key.
Yep.
Today's Monday. You need 2 events this week or 2 ways you're going to have 2 $400 times or hours or days, whatever that look like. If you don't do that every week and you focus on how to book and have creative themes and fun ways, you got to pick your sand pail and you got to put it into your calendar if you want to go to the beach of Hilton Head Island. So it's planning. You're going to see Jackie and I also made this for you, that when you're stuck, today, I would meet up with my manager. If I was a consultant, I would go through this deck that we're going to put in guide number 1 on Facebook. Leaders, you're going to have it when we're done in WhatsApp for leaders. And look at this. We gave you all the reasons and why and how people do parties. And then you got to write their name and why you think they'd love a party. Okay. We've already done ChatGPT training on this last month. We just made it into a quick deck to make you think about your list. We even then put together in your deck, what do I do to coach a hostess? We did everything from the before for the party, how to invite, how to help her with the list, how to get communication to her guests, what to share with her before the party. And again, how do I follow up and check in? So whether you're doing a spontaneous one or you're planning 30 days out, this is that key on how do I hostess coach? It's right here. We then, again, gave you an easy outline. Work with your manager on what products you want to demo, whether it's from the Defy Business Kit, it's from your February brochure and your faves, if it's from the product pack that you have. But it's really outlining the 5 steps to a party, from a meet and greet, your opening story. That's a My Story. That's in Jafra Biz. What product experiences are they going to try? I heard Pat earlier say she trained people how to do their Royal Almond Hand treatment. Great. Then what are the closing bees? We even have something fun about that. And checking them out. So you're asking every person what services they're interested in. What are the 5 B's? We love this. Do they want to buy? Do they want to bundle, which has better deals? Do they want to book? Do they want to begin? Or are they ready to build and go to the island with you? We even gave you an after party version. What do I do after the party? I always called it the Big Mac, the morning after calls. Jackie was like, me too. That was like my most powerful day after a party. It wasn't just the party. It's what we did after. So we even gave you the recipe on how to follow up. And then we shared with you the 2+2+2 and how to keep client records. This is critical so that you get to know your customers. It's a relationship business that works, not a post. So it's really getting to know people. And we even gave you a whole lot of tips on how to really service your customers. And we're going to keep focusing on this throughout the entire trip. This is just your master deck. Remember, we kept saying everything is more fun with friends, same as going to the trip with your friends on the beach. So again, we even gave you some graphics to put that message out there that everybody joins with a friend. We gave you, again, how do we sponsor every week? Imagine you just sponsored every week, you held 2 events every week, and 1 out of those 2 became a consultant. That's reality of simplicity. If you want my favorite ways to spend 10 hours, it's right there. So we even gave you who is looking for us. We did this last month, so we just did it kind of fun, twisted it up. Who do I focus on this week? You pick your sand pail bucket. Maybe you're looking at empty nesters or retirees that you relate to. Great. This just gives you the choice board. So you plan on a Monday how to achieve sponsoring that week. And we even created a board on, oh my gosh, how do I sponsor? We call it the 5 Eyes, making that list, talking about what they're good at, why they'd be great, their benefits, where you're going to invite them to. You always want a place to invite them, and your follow-up plan. So again, we put everything together on how to do it. We end with this magically fabulous Monday, the month of love, kicking this off with more gifts. This goes on through the 15th. So what a perfect time. We have the great deal of the week. We up from our Sunday savings, we have great gifts. Remember, we're going to have you all sparkling like VIPs, and everybody with 400 last month is already on track to be gold and royal. So call them first and invite them to stay on track, and invite them to maybe see more as we all share the beauty and share the business option. The magic to this trip is helping everyone not leave a prize or a gift on the table, and everything is more fun with friends. So we keep these graphics in front of you to keep sharing. Do not miss more tips tonight with Live at the Hive with Vicki Hacking and her beautiful team with Daryl Lee and Bronwyn tonight. Don't forget, again, tomorrow at 10 a.m. will be your live training Tuesday on Zoom or over on JBI. Leaders, do not miss our meeting. Is this tomorrow, Jack? I have Wednesday.
It is
Good
tomorrow.
catch.
We're
We
living the
looked at-
dream over here.
We looked at this 80,000 ways this Sunday, and we just have a day wrong, but it's tomorrow. You just got a text today about it. So tomorrow we'll take all of these details and grab more ideas from you all. As we end today, cast your vision on the love of February. Again, start with your vision first and then plan your days your way. Create a vision. Be specific. If you didn't fill this out yet, do it with your manager. As soon as we're done today, do it with your accountability buddy. Do it with your upline. What is your number 1 goal this month? Who are you being accountable to? Make someone hold you accountable. How will you celebrate your wins of the week? What incentives are you earning? How much money will you earn? What is it for? How many will you sponsor? How much will you sell? How many events? How many new clients? What days and ways will you be doing that social media? And what will you do different to defy anything you've never done before? Say yes. We invite you to take the plunge into Trip 2024 with all of us from the pool to the beach. We are here to be together in September. So we say thank you for joining us today. We hope you found all sorts of things to design it your way. I'm going to end our
Jackie.
recording.